It was the kind of evening when the city felt a little too quiet, and the rain tapped against windows like it was telling secrets no one else could hear. That's when Daniel first noticed her. A new neighbor. She moved in silently, carrying only 2 worn-out suitcases and a battered sketchbook tucked under her arm. Her name was Clara. She didn't say much, at least not at first. Just polite nods, faint smiles, and the occasional good morning when their paths crossed in the hallway. She always looked like she was deep in thought, lost in some invisible world. But over time, the silence turned into conversations. First about the weather, then about books, then about life. Clara had this gentle way of speaking, the kind that could make even a cold night feel a little warmer. Daniel found himself enjoying her company. He'd invite her over for coffee, or they'd sit on the balcony, talking about everything and nothing while the city lights blinked around them. But there was something odd about Clara. Little things didn't add up. One week she said she worked at a bookstore, another week it was a flower shop, the next, she was freelancing as a writer. Each time the story shifted, Daniel would pause, but Clara always redirected the conversation with that soft smile and another story. And just like that, his doubts would fade. Until one evening, Daniel came home later than usual and found Clara sitting on the building's staircase, sketchbook on her lap, head low, tears streaking her face. When she noticed him, she quickly wiped her cheeks, laughed nervously, and blamed it on allergies, but her hands trembled, and her eyes told a different story. Daniel wanted to ask, but part of him knew she wouldn't tell. Days passed, and Clara seemed distant. Their conversations grew shorter. The light in her eyes dimmed, even when her lips tried to hold a smile. And then one day, she was gone. The apartment door stood wide open, the room empty, like she had never lived there at all. Except for one thing. On his doorstep, sitting neatly as if placed there on purpose, was her sketchbook. His heart raced as he flipped through the pages. But these weren't just sketches of random flowers or city buildings. They were portraits, dozens of them of herself, in different expressions, different moods, and on every page, small scribbled notes. Apartment 3B, temporary home, don't stay too long, keep the mask on. Page after page, the same theme. Clara wasn't who she had pretended to be. And on the very last page, a handwritten note. Daniel, if you're reading this, thank you for being the first person in years to treat me like I was more than just a shadow. I moved here to hide, but I found a friend instead. I hope you understand why I had to leave. Daniel stood in the hallway for what felt like forever, the sketchbook pressed to his chest. He would never know what she was running from. But he knew one thing. Sometimes the masks people wear aren't meant to fool you. They're meant to protect them. And sometimes being kind to a stranger can mean more than you'll ever know.